Here I'm making a new document that's 13 by 19, which is the size of my film out that I'm going to use for output. A customer provided me a raster image that I'm going to convert to vector so that I can easily separate for a two-color job. In this case, the customer supplied me a mock-up, which is very rare, and the customer usually never does that. They supply a mock-up, so I'm basically just going to duplicate this. The customer knew what the fonts were, so all I have to do is just type out the text and use the bitmap file that I imported into Corel and use it as a template just to scale and trace. And I'll repeat the same thing for the new birth text. And then again, I know this font, so it makes it very easy. So if a customer don't supply the font, you'll be scrolling through fonts all day trying to figure out what this is, unless it's something that you're very familiar with or a font that you know what it is. It makes it faster, but there are thousands of fonts out there, and it's just best to get from your customer that information. Now that I got that in place, I can delete the bitmap. And I'm going to generate my own template by using the advanced t-shirt software, which I'm going to open up Design Base. Go to Comps. And select men's shirt and just use that as front view. And what it's going to do is it's going to import a blank shirt that you can use. So it comes out on top. I minimize that. I'm going to hit Shift down page, and that's going to move the t-shirt to the back. And then I'll scale my artwork so that the image fits on the shirt. And on this, the foreground color is actually the color of the shirt, and the outline in Corel, which is indicated right there in the black, near where I was pointing, is the drop shadow. So the foreground color, I just double click and I'm going to use the eyedropper for this brown shirt and hit OK, and it's just going to turn the shirt brown. I'm just going to keep the drop shadow the same. Sometimes you do have to adjust that as well. I'm going to change the text color accordingly. Don't know what color that is, so basically what I'm going to do is just, none of those colors in my palette would match, so I'm just going to double click here, use the eyedropper and just drop it on the color to change it and hit OK. And that's it. Now I can just take it and export this file as a JPEG file, and I could send that over to my customer for approval. So I save this out. And now after I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to increase the size of the new birth text and put it on the next page so I can generate color separations. And by using Simple Steps. Simple Steps will set my traps and everything for me so that I'll print my white underbase and I'll choke the underbase, which it makes the white text a little bit smaller, and I'll do a little spread on the tan color that goes on the top as well, because it makes it easier for you to align it on press when you get to it. In order to separate spot color artwork, it has to be actually your colors can't be in RGB as they are now. They have to be in spot color, which is like a Pantone color. So I'm going to open up Simple Steps here. You select all your artwork and go to your color management. Select everything, go to color management. Hit create selection, and it tells you every color that's in there. Select all. If it had an outline, you wanted to select the outline colors as well, and hit one click conversion. And what that's going to do is it's going to automatically convert all of those colors to spot color so you can generate a separation. So it automatically converted those colors to spot color. You have two colors in this design. So I'm going to go now to where it says separation. This is raster. I'm just going to go halftone. I'm going to make a white base untinted, so I don't want it to have any halftones. I just want it to be solid color. And I'm going to choke the white underbase so it makes the text just a little bit smaller, so when the color goes over it, it's easy to registration. I will shoot another video that explains what trapping and all of that is, so you will understand what the software is actually doing for you. I will generate the separation. I will also choose to do a highlight white, so everything that just prints white, it won't have the stroke on the outside, so it's going to make things a whole lot easier. I mean, it won't have the choke um, on the text that is to print white. So what I will end up doing is taking that highlight white, and I'll copy that and paste it over the text that's white, so that when I print my color separation, that part will not have a little bit smaller white text. You want that to be bold. It doesn't, because you don't have to trap that at all. So now I have the software generating my separations for me. What it's going to do is on page 3 it'll make a proof approval, or basically a mock-up for you, show you what it's going to look like after it's printed. Then on the next page it's going to have the tan color and my white underbase. Then it's going to have a highlight white. The highlight white I will copy and paste it onto the underbase, and then I'll just delete the highlight white page, and then those two pages will be left for me to print out my film output to burn my screens. Takes a little sec for the computer to generate your separations. It's best that you don't have a lot of other software or anything like that open on your computer. Usually when I'm doing this, I just have it generate my separations, then I'll walk away from the computer and go do something else and come back and everything is set for me. I save out my file and then output my film, then I'm good to go. What you see now is just an indication window from Simple Sep showing that it's processing the separations. It's also best if you have any other Corel files open or any other files open on your computer, it's best to just close those out as well, because this procedure does a lot of copy and pasting. So now my separations are complete here. This gives me a preview, and so that I can see it, I'm gonna just make a black box that will indicate the shirt, and I hit shift down page, send that to back, so it shows that this is what my artwork will look like when it's printed. Check out my underbase. Now the new birth text is a little bit thinner because it has that choke on there as well. All the way around that. So I don't want that. So what I'll do is I'll take the highlight white which is here. I'll take this, don't have the text stroke around it. I'll copy that, go back to my and paste, and then reason why it covered up that is because the foreground color is white, so I'll get rid of the foreground color on that. Which is indicated here. And I hit the X and that foreground color disappears. So my color separations would be page 4 and page 5 will be my 2 print pages. I'm going to delete those 2 registration marks off to the side and just use the 2 top and bottom to make it easier to align up properly on press. And that's about it. So thank you all for checking us out, and like and subscribe. This is actually my first video. I'm sure ones in the future will be a little bit better. Appreciate it.